What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is Joshua's Proximity. We are officially into week 3 of the NFL regular season. And before we get into that, let's just do a little recap of week 2. Now, if you have watched the Minnesota Vikings over this past couple of weeks, there are some concerns when it comes to JJ McCarthy. Now, I don't believe if you want me to be fully transparent, I don't believe he's a starting quarterback in the National Football League. If you just compare him to his counterparts that was drafted last season, I don't think he understands or sees the field very well. I mean, if you look at the two games between the Falcons and the Bears, he looks shell shocked. That's to say the least. And I mean, when you put it all into perspective, if you just look at where the Minnesota Vikings were with Sam Darnold, where they were with Kirk Cousins. Some people might not call it fair criticism because those are vets, but I've also seen other people come into this same system and they've shined. And you look at where they drafted him. They drafted him first round. Nobody was checking for JJ McCarthy. Now, I mean, just look at some of these shots that he's taking. He's getting sacked. I've watched clips where he has flutter feet in the pocket. Obviously, you have JJ, Justin Jefferson. So you have the best top 2 receiver in the league. So, and then you got Kevin O'Connell that's dialing up. But when he was with the Michigan Wolverines, his best attribute was he was handing the ball off to his running back. He was handing it off to Blake Corum. He was handing it off to Donovan Edwards. And he had a very stout defense. I didn't see anything that garnished or warranted a first-round talent from this guy. And I honestly don't know if he's a guy in the National Football League. He may be a Jag. Now, there is points where you could win a Super Bowl with game managers, but you got to be an elite game manager. And right now, I don't see it from this dude. This dude, I really believe he's a Jag. And my homeboy said, Josh, we're going to revisit this if he turns it around or when he turns it around. But right now, this guy should be considered and held as a Jag. I don't see a situation where JJ McCarthy, currently speaking, can turn it around. He's on the injured list. He's not going to play week 3. We know he just had a child. So I understand that. I have obviously a newborn as well. So I understand his mind might not be on football right now as his first kid, thinking about how he can be the best dad, thinking about how he can be the best quarterback. But, bro, this is your job. This is your opportunity. You get paid millions of dollars to do this. You need to turn it around. And if you just ask other players, Justin Jefferson didn't think that they would have this start to the season. And their games have been awful offensively. I mean, you're getting stopped by the Atlanta Falcons. No shade. They play some great ball, but the Bears just allowed 50-something points to the Detroit Lions. And I know that you guys can match the Detroit Lions as far as talent-wise and as far as receiving-wise at least with Justin Jefferson. So, J.J. McCarthy, and anybody else listening to this, you should be concerned. And I do want to transition just a little bit. Guys, it might be time to bench him. It might be time to bench Xavier Legette. The more and more that I'm looking at it, he's stealing reps from guys that I know that can compete. He had 8 targets on Sunday, -2 yards. First time in NFL history that a receiver finished with negative yards with 8 targets. There was another time where a running back, Jamar Charles, had negative yards receiving. But Xavier Legette was a first-round selection. Please do not forget that. He was a first-round selection. We traded up to go get him, and he just cannot make plays. And it's sad because when you expect something from a guy that is compared to a A.J. Brown, that is compared to a Deebo Samuel, a DK Metcalf, you expect him to be a guy. You don't trade up back into the first round after you've already selected or when you don't have any first-round picks to go get a guy that you believe is actually a stud and he can't produce. And I think that the time is the clock is starting to tick now. All right, now we see Tedawar McMillan is balling. We see Hunter Renfro is getting his catches. Xavier Leggett, it's time to turn it up. You're still out here doing music videos. You're still out here doing commercials. Let's focus on the thing and the task at hand. Let's go catch some footballs. Let's go catch some touchdowns, and let's turn it around. 8 targets, -2 yards. How I got more yards than him and I'm sitting down on the couch? How my son got more yards than him and I'm holding him? How my daughter has more yards than him and only thing she knows is football. And that's it. And just screams whenever I scream. So I think he needs to be benched. I think it's time to bench him just so he can get his headspace right. If you watch the last couple of drives, he wasn't even in the game. He was loafing. He's not hustling. He doesn't have a sense of urgency. We're in a 2-minute offense, and he's walking back to the line of scrimmage. Why is everybody lined up but you? Figure it out, man. First round talent. I don't. You just need to be benched, bro. Figure it out and figure it out immediately. Um. Now for this, I do just want to transition just one more time or a couple more times. So the Indianapolis Colts, they're an interesting team currently speaking because they might be legit. They might be a legit football team when it comes to Daniel Jones. And this is something that you're starting to see. Guys, and this might be a Bryce Young thing. If Bryce Young can't figure it out with the Carolina Panthers, he might move to a different situation and become a superstar. I hope he becomes a superstar with the Carolina Panthers. But the Colts look legit. They got a great running game. They got a great tight end and a great offensive line. And Daniel Jones is just doing everything, game managing I just talked about with JJ McCarthy. He's managing the game. Doesn't have to go over the top. Turns around, hands the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor had over 200 purpose yards on Sunday. And the defense is playing well. Cam Bynum. We know about Travarius Ward. They can get a great pass rush. They got that talented linebacker core. They might be legit. They're currently 2-0 in the AFC South. I don't see a situation right now where they lose the AFC South. The Texans are 0-2. The Jags are the Jags. The Titans are 0-2. And they're about to come into some good competition. I think they got let me see who they got this week. They got the Titans this week, so they got a chance to be 3-0, undefeated, remain undefeated in the division. This team might be legit. But I know what you guys are waiting for. Let's go ahead and jump right into my NFL top 10. So coming in at number 10 on Joshua's proximity hierarchy is the 49ers. Now, the 49ers are a team, yes, they're missing Brock Purdy, but they still have Mike Shanahan. They have Christian McCaffrey, who is healthy, who looks good. Coming in at number 10 is the San Francisco 49ers. At number 9, the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, Joe Burrow is no longer on the team. He might come back towards the end of the season. But if they just manage, if they're able to just stay on this trajectory, they're going to be a good team down the stretch. Coming in at number 9, if Joe Burrow comes back, there'll be a top 5 team. Number 9, Cincinnati Bengals. At number 8, the Indianapolis Colts. Just for everything that I just listed, can run the ball, great defensively. Daniel Jones is managing the game at a high elite level. At number 8, Indianapolis Colts. Coming in at number 7, the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams have figured it out. They have figured it out. Sean McVay has figured it out. We know Puka Nacua was going to figure it out. I would like to see them run the ball just a little more effectively. But at number 6, it's hard to dispute it right now. Or number 7, it's hard to dispute it right now. The Los Angeles Rams. Coming in at number 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, when you look at the Bucs situation, they're out here competing. They beat the Atlanta Falcons late. They beat the Texans with 5 seconds to go. Baker Mayfield looks like an elite quarterback in the NFC. Looks like a top 3 quarterback within the NFC. This was the Baker Mayfield that we expected coming out of college. At number 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coming in at number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, I know they should possibly be higher. They were up 15 points going into the fourth quarter on the Buffalo Bills. I just can't put them just too high right now. They're 1-1. These other teams are undefeated. but we know what they are in the regular season. Number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. Coming in at number 4, the Los Angeles Chargers. Guys, this team has a chance to win the AFC. This team has a chance to win the entire AFC. Physical, defense is flying around. I haven't seen this in quite some time. Number 4, the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 3, MVP Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills. I mean, what else is there to say? Dominated the New York Jets. They've dominated or came back against the Baltimore Ravens. They hoop. Josh Allen hoops. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. At number 2 is the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is a team, they have a chance to win the NFC. Everything that I just said about the Los Angeles Chargers is vice versa when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. Micah Parsons has added a huge battery pack with the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is balling. He's got to watch where he's throwing the football, limit the turnovers, lean on the running game, lean on the defense. Number 2, Green Bay Packers. And then number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, Super Bowl champions. You go into Arrowhead, you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Not only that, but you do it convincingly. Your offense looks subpar to a certain extent, but your defense is still right there. And at the end of the day, it's the Super Bowl champions, reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, coming in at number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. So, let me go ahead and give you my picks real quick before we get out of here. All right, so first game, Thursday night game, Dolphins versus Bills. I'm undefeated on Thursday night games. Let me go Bills. I'm going to circle this because I'm going to put this into a parlay. Bengals versus Vikings in Minnesota. Carson Wentz. I know he's going to get Justin Jefferson the ball. I'm going to go Cincy, though. I'm going to go Cincy. I might take the spread on that, whatever the spread is. Texans versus Jags. Give me the Texans. I think the Texans turn this around, finally get their first win. Colts versus Titans. Like the Colts in this matchup. Raiders versus Commanders. I'm going to go Commanders, but I don't know. Jaden Daniels, I don't think he's playing. That's going to be an interesting game this week. Rams versus Eagles. Back in Philly, 2 undefeated teams. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go Rams this matchup. I think Devontae Adams, they're going to be hard to stop. Jalen Carter, there's been reports on his conditioning, like the Rams in this matchup. Panthers versus Falcons. I'm going to be unbiased, man. I'm going to go with the Falcons, man. We can't start 0-3. Can't start 0-3. I really want us to win this game. Steelers versus Pats. Give me the Steelers in this matchup. Packers versus Browns. Packers. I mean, what in the world? Jets versus Bucks. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to go Bucks, though. Broncos versus Chargers in L.A. Give me the Chargers, man. They look good right now. Saints versus Seahawks. Going Seahawks. Cowboys versus Bears. Give me the Cowboys. 0-3 start for the Bears. Good gracious. Cardinals versus 49ers. 2 undefeated teams. Always a physical game. They're playing in San Francisco. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Chiefs versus Giants. Sunday Night Football. After that snooze fest versus the Vikings. Chiefs in a blowout win. Lions versus Ravens. Monday Night Football. Game of the week. Good gracious. I like the Ravens, man. The Ravens, they just are a more physical team than the Detroit Lions. But once again, Josh's Proximity, baby. We out.